We are surrounded by so much meaning. We're surrounded by so much meaning. I just saw a butterfly. I just saw a dragonfly. I'm seeing these beautiful flowers in the tree. And then I'm gonna walk back over. Oh, here they are. These beautiful yellow flowers. You know, I've got this really cool app called Seek, and you can take a picture and it'll tell you what flower it is. I don't know what flower it is, so I have to do that. But we're surrounded by so much meaning. And what I want to share is whether you are a follower of Christ or you're not, this world has so much meaning to offer you, and you get to decide what something means to you. And when we think about the rates of suicidality amongst young people, amongst Black young people, it's very alarming. And what came to mind just now is, I don't think they know how much meaning is surrounding them. I don't think they know how much meaning is inside of them. So when you're walking somewhere and you see something, there's a symbol, be careful how you interpret certain things, because how you interpret life is how life happens to you. And look for the positivity around you. Not to say that there is no negativity, because there is, and it's very easy to go to that. But when you take the time to think about, well, what does the hummingbird mean? What does the bumblebee mean? What does the butterfly mean? What are these yellow flowers? What do these yellows signify? Because there's so much meaning. And if you look at certain traditions and what that means in that tradition, it can enlighten you. What it means cross-culturally, what it means universally, in the Spirit, Holy Spirit being one. It's only one Spirit, and then everything else deviates from that. We take the time to learn what things mean, it can uplift our lives. And if we share that meaning with our young people, they don't have to feel alone when they're outside. They don't have to feel alone when they are, looking at the water and thinking about what their next steps are. A lot of people are struggling with loneliness and they don't know what to do. A lot of people are struggling with attention deficits and they don't know what to do with that attention deficit. But here's what I want to offer. We're talking about creating meaning, because our brains are always seeking meaning, always trying to solve something. We tell these stories to ourselves because we're trying to solve this challenge that we have. We're trying to make sense of what's going on with us, excuse me. When you talk about ADHD or ADD, and I'm not a clinician or a psychiatrist, so don't take my perspective from that level of expertise. But when you think about having a deficit in your attention, or you're hyper attentive, or there's just something going on to where your attention is not doing what you want it to do, you have power. You have power, and you can direct your attention. Even if you have a deficit of something, whatever deficit means. And deficit is relative, because what may be a deficit to you could be an opportunity to me. Ooh, I'm not going to talk about industrial complexes. I'm not going to talk about any industrial complexes that just came to mind. You may say, Ashley, please speak on it. Okay. There are so many ways that we are taught to look at ourselves as having a deficit. And then because we believe that we're a deficit of some sort, we have a deficit of some sort, our idea of being deficient becomes an opportunity for someone to profit off of that. Simple, okay? But it doesn't matter how much attention you say you have. You can direct what you have. Oh, that's a good word. You can direct what you have. You can find out how you want to interpret your life. Because again, how you interpret your life is how life happens to you. How you interpret your life is how life happens to you. Now, I'm not saying that you've got to, see everything as positive all the time, because that's not real. The universe is full of positives and negatives. It's full of positive and negatives. But what you can do is, when you see something, you can say, well, Well, what does that mean? And if you have a relationship with the Most High, you say, Most High, show me what this means. What are you saying to me? And you, in that place of oneness, in that place of love and trust, and let love and trust be your boundaries. Let trust be the boundary. Let love be the boundary. Don't let anything interfere. You say, what are you saying to me, Holy Spirit? What are you saying to me? And receive the word. Receive the word. We are here because we were spoken into existence. And when we use our minds in the most powerful and creative ways to uplift us, to uplift people, to give, not to take, but to give, to do good, not to harm, but to do good, and find out what is good. Ooh, the scriptures say in Romans 12 that your mind may prove what is the good and perfect will of God. That be not transformed to the patterns of this world. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's not a direct translation, but that's what it says. Don't be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That you may prove with what? Right here. And bring your gut into it, because you got 3 brains. You got this one in here, and this one down here, okay? You don't have to believe me, just go ahead and look it up, okay? The science is showing us what God put inside of us. And as you do that, as you say, well, Holy Spirit, what are you revealing to me right now? And if you want to, some people are like, well, what about the ancestors, Ashley? If you have ancestors who followed the Most High, and you know they dwell in His presence now, they're with Mother God now, you can say, Holy Spirit, Most High, bring to me the wisdom that you would have me to have from the ancestors. Now, some people say, I don't want any ancestral wisdom. Then so be it. But for those of you who are wondering what I would say about that, that's what I would say. Holy Spirit, bring to me the wisdom that you bestowed to my ancestors. Is there anything that you want me to know from their experience? Is there anything you want me to know from their experience? Because He exists across time. He exists across lifetimes. If they were serving Him and worshiping Him and He gave them revelation, would He not continue His legacy and give unto you? Come on, let's think bigger about this. We serve a wonderful God. We serve a wonderful God. And back to my original message, we're surrounded by meaning. We're never by ourselves. We may be physically I'm physically by myself right now, but I walk with so many. I walk with so many. And I want you to know that you walk with so many and that you're blessed. If you are in Him, if you have His Spirit in you, you're blessed with every spiritual blessing in the heavenly realm. Meditate on that. Meditate on that. What is every spiritual blessing in the heavenly realm? And then when we talk about our youth going to certain places in solitude looking for meaning, we can teach them what the meaning of certain things are. Now, I've done Google searches on what the meanings of certain things are, and some things in the Bible are not as positive. I'll just say that because you may be like, well, what does the Bible say about it? What does the Bible say? What does the Bible say? And some things don't have a positive meaning. What I want to say also is that what they were receiving, the revelation they were receiving from God, is not, it doesn't always include other images, other interpretations of other images. You know, some people say, well, if it's not in the Bible, I won't do it. Well, do you brush your teeth? That's not in the Bible, right? And I was thinking about this as a side note. The Bible speaks a lot about different behaviors. But I was like, you know what? The Bible doesn't say anything about smoking. Okay, so I'll leave that with you because I had that idea, and maybe you have that idea too. But we could just, put it out there and let it be what it is. And Remember that wherever we are, we're surrounded by meaning. There's so much, and we create the meaning for these things. If you're walking and you say, oh, I gotta walk, you've attached a certain interpretation to having to walk. Now, maybe you're not in shape to walk a certain way. Maybe you parked really far. You got to walk a mile to wherever you're going. But again, it's about how you look at it, how you frame what you're doing. And that is going to be a blessing to you or not. Okay? We're surrounded by meaning. And if you're watching this video and you're wondering, well, how does this apply to me? I just don't feel like my life has any meaning. Start looking up what you're here to do. Get into the scriptures. Get connected to some people who are wise and loving and care about you. Get connected to some mentors, some coaches, some therapists. Get connected to some people who have fulfilling careers. And they're very generous and they're loving and they're kind and they're giving back. You have so much opportunity. You have so much opportunity. If you're thinking about, what do I do with my life? I don't even know what anything means. This is a great time to go find out what it means. I say this because there are so many people who are feeling lonely, and there are so many people who don't know what to do, and they're claiming that they have an attention deficit, and I claim that they just need to direct the attention that they have. Whether you call it a deficit or I call it something. God gave you something now, use it, okay? Old school, just use it. And another thing is, if you look up, if I'm surrounded by these flowers right here, okay? If I look these things up, you know, I could go into the app and say, oh, what type of flower is this? Or, you know, do a Google search and say, what type of flower is this? Find out what the purpose of things is in your environment. Oh, thank you, Holy Spirit. Find out what the purpose is of the things in your environment. We're surrounded by beautiful natural plants, and we can name a car, we can name a bag, we can name a tool. I can't really name tools though, because I'm not a builder in that sense. I'm a spiritual builder, but not a physical builder. One day though, one day. But we can find out what the purpose of something is, and you'll find out, wow, this flower plays the role of this. This bird plays the role of this. This, you know, the marsh exists. I found this out, you know, just doing some reading. The marsh exists to buffer the storms as they hit the coast. We need the marshes. We need the marshland. You know, so when you take the time, I'm so excited about this, and I hope that you feel that spark of light and encouragement inside of you too, because I want the best for you. I bless you. I want the best for you. And I want you to know that your life is full of meaning. Your life is surrounded with meaning. And if you just take the time to find out, well, what is the purpose of the things in nature, then you will be able to have more insight on what yours is. Okay? Have a great day. Have a great day. Like, subscribe, share with someone who needs to hear this message, and I'll see you again soon.